Hey everyone, Josh here with Fresh Start Customs, and today we are reviewing the WeCreat Lumos Ultra. And I just want to take a second here to let you guys know I've been reviewing lasers for a very long time. I actually own 20 different lasers. This is my 20th laser here, and this is hands down my new favorite laser. 100%. I mean, you can't even touch it right now. The reason why, and it's not just because we haven't had like a fiber 100-watt MOPA laser before, or even the fact that this is a UV laser as well. It's just the fact of how versatile this thing is and how easy it is to swap different parts out. There's a lot to this here, and we're going to unpack it. I'm going to talk about it here first, and then I've got a lot of projects that I've done with this one here. I've had this for about a month now, so just bear with me that everything that you see in this is beta version. So anything that you see here is only going to get better, and everything that I've done was just simply doing test arrays or guessing at settings here. And even with that, I'm astounded at the quality of this thing here. Hands down, I think WeCreat has won 2026 so far in the lasers wars here. So with that said, let's go ahead and just get into everything about this laser so you know what's going on here. First up, let's talk about the WeCreat Lumos Ultra here, why you want it, why it's my new favorite laser, all the specs and features, everything that comes with it. Then we're going to quickly touch base on all the accessory options you have, and then we're going to do all those accessories in separate videos in detail. And then we're going to talk about all the projects that I did with this. I'm going to do a run through of a lot of different projects and a lot of different materials that I've done with this, because this unit can actually unlock pretty much every material in the world except for some plastics, and you'll want to look that up. But this can do plastics as well, unlike diode lasers or CO2 lasers. So that is a fantastic option here. The WeCreat Lumos Ultra comes in a black and silver color scheme here. There's a reason for that, and that is because of the fiber laser option here. That's to protect your eyesight when this is down. Everything that you see in this video, this is actually going to be up for just so you can see what's going on. And I have goggles on in the background. So if you're going to use this up, make sure you have protection and certified goggles when you're using that. But I recommend that you use this when it's down. I just didn't want to record a black screen the whole time and you guys wonder what the engraving is, because that'd be boring. So with that said, the specs of this machine, it comes with a 6-watt UV laser, making it probably the strongest one that I can even think of for a full enclosed laser like this. There are some 10 watts out there, but they're on the open style lasers where it doesn't have a full enclosure. There's also some 5-watt or 3-watt versions that do come with a full enclosure, but if you want the strongest one out there that I know of right now, this is definitely the unit to get. And then if you're not happy with like glass, slate coasters, scratch paper, fabrics like my hat I did with the UV laser here, and you want to unlock metal, then just get the 60-watt or the 100-watt fiber MOPA laser attachment, and you can attach that right to the unit, making this 2 lasers in 1 unit here for one price versus buying 2 separate lasers and then having 2 separate lasers side by side. Like you've seen in other companies have released 2 separate lasers in order to do like a UV print or a UV laser and a MOPA laser as well. But this has both in one, which is so impressive to me, and it's so easy to plug in. When I say it's so easy to plug in, it's literally just taking a light source from the back, you plug it into a circular slot up top, and then you match all of the plugs up. They're color coded, and it plugs in just like a desktop computer. So if you own a desktop computer, you can definitely plug in this fiber laser, and all you got to do is click a button. And I think they said in advance, whenever this unit comes out, it's going to auto detect when you want the fiber laser or the UV laser based on the laser lens you have installed. So don't hold me to that right now. Everything is in beta mode, but I'm assuming that's what it's going to do. It's going to auto detect whether you're in fiber laser mode or UV laser mode. And if not, it's as easy as clicking a button. So with that said, let's talk about the lenses itself. It comes with a purple lens pre-installed for the UV laser. And that UV laser, like I said, can do pretty much every material except for like metal engraving, but you can even do metal marking with that if you use enough power and wattage. Now you have the option to switch from the purple lens to the green lens, and that will unlock 3D crystal etch engraving here. So this is my first attempt and my only crystal that I have to test with here. It came out a little light, and that's just because I didn't have any preset settings whatsoever. That came out that good with just merely guessing at the settings here. So I can only imagine how good this is going to be once they have all the preset settings come with the unit. And talking about the 3D etching, it was so easy to use. It kind of blew my mind. I was super nervous when they said you're going to be able to do 3D etching with this with glass. And I was like, how does that work? I was kind of mind blown on how hard it was going to be or something. But this is super easy. I mean, all you got to do is lift the lid, take out your tray, and then you use 4 of these little screws here. And you screw them on the bottom of this tray here, and they just lock into a specific circular slot that is on the bottom of this tray. I mean, it was an easy experience. And then all you got to do is put this little Y-shaped metal piece here, and it locks your glass cube into place. At that point, all you got to do is type in the dimensions of your cube into the software, and it literally shows you a 3D etched engraving of what it's going to look like. There is some AI features to turn your own image into a 3D engraving, and that's what I did. I just used our FSC logo, the center of it, for mine. But you can turn other objects into 3D engravings. I'll throw up some examples of things that they did with it as well. And then you have the option to get this red lens here. So the red lens, you pop that in. You can then turn on your MOPA fiber laser, and that converts it into a fiber laser. You're ready to use the fiber laser when the red lens is inside. And that's how easy it is to swap. I mean, to swap this out is literally just unscrewing it to the left and then rescrewing it to the right, and you're good to go. I mean, that is how easy it is to swap from UV laser to crystal engraving to back to fiber laser. I am highly impressed with it. And then if you're wondering back here, this is not part of the machine. This is just that metal business card material here that I put in there just for this video. I don't leave this in here because the fan itself is in use, which you'll see here in just a second in the video. But with that said, that is everything that comes with the unit, other than like other small pieces like this here, the little square piece. Mine came with these 2 cutting strips here for like cutting wood, and they just want you to lay it in there like that, but on the actual unit, not hanging off the side, and then you would cut. I told them I didn't really like that. I wanted an actual cutting board. So hopefully they will include that. I recommend that they include one. They did include one for the fiber laser, however, this little tiny guy here, which kind of sits in the center. And then if you're etching or trying to cut like metal, for example, like thin metal, they have this actual cutting board. This is what I recommend that they include by default for the UV laser as well. For example, here is a bigger version of that. This came with my F1 Ultra, and it fits perfectly in there. And this is what I recommend that they include. So hopefully they'll include this. I've been working with the engineering team with any kind of bugs that I found, and I didn't really find anything so far with how much kind of testing that I put this through, other than when I switched to the crystal lens, and that's probably because I didn't turn off the unit after swapping out the head. But when I swapped out the head, I was able to do the crystal engraving, and then I lost my autofocus until I turned off the unit and turned it back on. But just to be safe, I reported that as a bug, so you shouldn't run into that whenever you get your laser. And I do recommend that you turn off the unit and turn it back on after every swap of the laser lens itself, and that's on me. So that's probably something that I did, just something I wanted to point out that should be fixed if it was a bug in the future. So with that said, that is pretty much the entire unit, everything that comes with the unit, things that you should look out for the specs and features. Now let's quickly touch base with the accessories, which we're going to be doing in a separate video, but I wanted to tell you about that as well. And then I'm going to show you a ton of projects that I've done so far, just so you can check that out. All right, you guys, so we're going to quickly touch base on the accessory options you have to purchase with the WeCreat Lumos Ultra, and that is the rotary tool here that will unlock the ability to do cups, tumblers, etc. You just put it into the unit, screw it down to the unit, plug it in the back with one cable, just like the old WeCreat Lumos. If you want to see a video on that, we've already done a video on how the rotary works. They work the same across all the machines. We will do a separate video for this machine as well if you want to see that. And it basically, after you put it in there, it'll engrave back and forth and it'll end up looking something like this here. I think you get the point of that. And with that said, we also want to talk about the slide extension tray here. What this is you put a larger piece of wood or material on this and it'll actually move back and forth when it is attached to the unit itself in order to engrave a larger piece of material. So you have the ability to unlock larger material. This is the exact same kind of layout as the original WeCreat Lumos we have over there. So it works the same. We're gonna do a video on that as well. And then speaking of larger materials or a larger unit like that for accessories, this is also going to come with the option of a conveyor belt, just like the F1 Ultra you've seen us do in the past. They did not send me a conveyor belt, so I can't show you what that looks like right here just yet. And they're also working on something else in development with that belt right now, which I don't know if I can actually tell you what it is, but just note that something really cool is coming in the future for this unit here. So with that said, those are the accessories. Let's go ahead and just end this video off with a quick run of all the different things that I've engraved on. And if you have questions about any of those different materials, let me know down in the comments below. I'll answer any of the questions I can about those materials. And if you want a specific video for any of those materials to go more in depth, let me know that as well, and we'll go from there. All right, you guys, so now we're going to do a quick run through of all of the different projects that I did with the UV laser starting. Then we're going to move to the crystal laser. I only have one of those to test with, so that'll be really quick. And then you're going to see everything with the MOPA laser, the fiber laser as well. If you guys are interested in the WeCreat Lumos Ultra, click the links down in the description below. It'll help me out a ton. This right here that you're seeing now is scratch paper. And then everything else is pretty self-evident. So I'm going to play some music for you guys, end off the videos, and then answer any questions in the comments down below. Also, if you guys are interested, we are going to have the WeCreat Lumos Ultra settings group set up by the time of release, like we did with all of the other lasers from WeCreat as well.